My whole life I believed drinking water was enough. They'd repeated it to me since I was a child. Drink at least 8 glasses a day. And for decades I did. Every time I felt thirsty, I drank water. I thought that was how I was taking care of my health. But one day, my body started to speak, and not with words. I began to feel more tired than usual, even if I slept well. My skin turned rougher, drier. I had nighttime cramps that woke me with pain, and sometimes I had small episodes of confusion. I forgot simple things. I struggled to concentrate, or I felt as if something in my head wasn't working quite right. I didn't understand it. I was drinking water like always. What was happening? That's when a doctor, kind but firm, explained a truth I had never clearly heard before. After 60, the body changes. It doesn't absorb fluids the same way. The sensation of thirst weakens. And worse, water alone is no longer enough. Without the right minerals, the body can't properly use the water we give it. It's like we're filling a tank with leaks. From that day on, I decided to research, learn, and change. And today, I want to share with you what I discovered. In this video, I'll tell you why drinking only water can be insufficient after a certain age, what signals the body gives when it lacks real hydration, and what you can add to your daily water to keep yourself strong, alert, and well-nourished. Everything you'll hear here has scientific support. It's explained simply, and most importantly, it can help you feel better in a short time. So if you're already past 60 or close to it, this video is for you. Before we continue, I'd love for you to answer in the comments, how many years old are you, and where are you watching from? It's a pleasure to read you and to know we're connected in this very important stage of life. The body no longer holds water the same way. For most of our adult life, our body is like a well-tuned sponge. It absorbs what it needs, retains just enough, and eliminates the rest. But after 60, that capacity begins to change, sometimes without us noticing. And the problem is that the symptoms of those changes are so subtle that we usually attribute them simply to age. One of the most important changes occurs in our ability to retain fluids and absorb essential minerals. On the surface, it may look like we're the same, but inside, our system starts to become slower, more selective, more fragile. The body needs more help to stay hydrated, and it's not enough to fill a glass of water and drink it. The first big difference is the sensation of thirst. When we're young, the body warns us clearly: dry mouth, scratchy throat, an urgent need to drink. But from a certain age on, that alarm system begins to fail. We can be dehydrated without feeling it, and if we wait to feel thirsty to drink water, we're already late. Another key factor is the loss of muscle mass. Muscles, besides giving us strength, act as natural reservoirs of water. As we age, we lose muscle little by little, even if we stay active. Less muscle means less capacity to retain water in the body. It's as if our organism had fewer and fewer shelves where it can store the hydration it receives. And that brings us to a very common but poorly understood phenomenon: older adults who drink water, yet remain dehydrated. Let me tell you about Mr. Ernest, a 70-year-old gentleman I met in a walking group for older adults. He always carried his water bottle, drank frequently, and proudly said he drank more water than his grandkids. Yet he complained of constant fatigue, leg cramps, and headaches. At first he thought it was due to blood pressure or heat, but after several checkups the answer was clear. He was dehydrated. How was that possible? His body, although it received water, couldn't retain it or distribute it properly. He lacked electrolytes. He lacked natural salt, potassium, magnesium. He lacked what makes water work inside us. It was like watering a plant without soil. The water goes in, but it isn't used. This doesn't mean we should drink less water, far from it. It means we should drink it better, with awareness, with the necessary nutrients, and knowing that after 60, the body doesn't function like it used to. Denying these changes doesn't make us stronger. On the contrary, accepting them, understanding them, and adapting is what allows us to live this stage with more vitality, more clarity, and greater well-being. So it's not about how much water you drink, but how well your body uses it. And now that we understand how our hydration system ages, in the next part I'll tell you something very few doctors explain clearly: the hidden symptoms of dehydration that many older adults confuse with other illnesses. It's not just being thirsty. For years we've thought dehydration is simply having a dry mouth or feeling an unbearable thirst. But in older adults, dehydration disguises itself, hides, and goes silent. And many times, it goes unnoticed until it's already causing real problems. After 60, the body doesn't always send clear signals. Sometimes there is no thirst, there's no obvious dryness. Instead, subtler symptoms appear that can easily be confused with normal aging or other diseases. But they aren't. They're warnings that the body lacks water, and something more. One of the first signs is constant fatigue, that feeling of being tired for no apparent reason. You wake up and already feel exhausted. You don't have strength for everyday tasks. Climbing stairs, preparing a meal, or even reading a book feels like unnecessary effort. And many times the cause isn't age, it's that your cells are dehydrated. Another frequent sign is sudden dizziness. You get up from bed or a chair and feel the room spin. That kind of dizziness can be dangerous because it increases the risk of falls, which at this age can have serious consequences. And yes, many times it's due to low blood pressure caused by a lack of proper mineral-rich hydration. Chronic constipation also appears. Digestion becomes slow and uncomfortable. The intestine needs water to function well, and without it, everything becomes heavier, more painful, slower. It's a common symptom that many try to solve with laxatives, not knowing that in reality, what's missing is water that's well absorbed by the body. Dull, dry, brittle skin is another outward reflection of what's happening inside. The skin is one of the first organs to show the effects of dehydration. It no longer looks elastic, it loses its glow, and in some cases it becomes so fragile that any friction injures it. This isn't solved with creams alone. The solution starts from within. But perhaps the most delicate and dangerous symptom is mild confusion. Small forgetfulness, momentary disorientation, difficulty concentrating. Many times, family members or even doctors associate it with the start of some form of dementia. But in many cases, the real cause is chronic, silent dehydration. I remember the case of Mrs. Teresa, a 75-year-old woman, cheerful, lucid, active. Suddenly, she started forgetting things. She got lost in her own neighborhood. She forgot simple words. Her family, worried, thought it was Alzheimer's. They took her to the doctor, and after several studies, discovered her body was dehydrated. She wasn't drinking enough water, and the little she did drink lacked minerals. They adjusted her hydration, taught her to drink water with natural electrolytes, and within a matter of weeks, she was her old self again. When the body doesn't have enough water with the right minerals, the brain can't function properly. Blood flows more slowly, neural connections turn sluggish, and the mind dims little by little. It's not dementia. It's a silent alarm the body turns on to ask for help. So, don't rely on thirst alone. Don't wait to feel a dry mouth. Listen to your body. Watch those small changes, because you can be dehydrated without realizing it. The secret is mineral balance. Drinking water is important. We already know that. But what very few understand, and which we're rarely told after 60, is that water by itself can't do all the work. It's missing something essential. It's missing electrolytes. The word may sound complicated, as if it were something technical or reserved for athletes. But in reality, electrolytes are natural minerals your body needs every day to function well. They're like little sparks that activate and keep many vital processes in balance. The main electrolytes we need are 4: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. Each has a specific function, and they all work together. If the body were an orchestra, these minerals would be the musicians who tune and keep the rhythm. If one is missing or out of balance, everything starts to sound wrong. But what exactly do they do? Sodium, in proper amounts, helps retain water in our cells and regulate blood pressure. Potassium balances fluid levels inside and outside cells and helps muscles, including the heart, work properly. Magnesium participates in more than 300 bodily functions, from muscle relaxation to energy production. And calcium, besides strengthening bones, is crucial for muscle contraction and nerve transmission. The problem is that, as years go by, we lose these minerals more easily, especially if we take certain medications, if we sweat a lot, or if we drink plain water without pairing it with a balanced diet. And here's the key point. Pure water, the kind that comes from the tap or in bottles, doesn't contain enough of these minerals. So what happens? We drink water, but that water doesn't anchor inside the body. It doesn't stay. It passes through, but it doesn't remain. Like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Without electrolytes, water can't enter cells well or stay there. The result is a false sense of hydration. Let me explain it simply. Imagine water is a vehicle, like a car. It can be very modern, very clean, with a full tank. But if it has no fuel, it doesn't move. And electrolytes are that fuel. They're what makes water make sense inside the body. Without them, water can't do its job. That's why it's so important to understand that hydration is not just about volume, but about quality. It's not just about how many glasses you drink a day, but what that liquid contains when it enters your body. If you're drinking water without electrolytes, you're losing a large part of the benefit. What's more, when the body is out of balance, it may begin to show it with symptoms like cramps, fatigue, tachycardia, anxiety, or confusion. And many times, what it needs is simply a mineral reset, a correct dose of these small but powerful natural allies. Your body speaks, but you don't always listen. There's something no one teaches us as we age. The body never stays quiet. It's always talking. It gives us signals, clues, warnings. The problem is that with routine, with time, with daily wear and tear, we stop listening. And one of the most common silent screams from the body after 60 is this: I'm missing electrolytes. Maybe you're already feeling it. Has it happened that in the middle of the night, a cramp in your leg or foot wakes you up? That sudden painful contraction that seems to have no explanation. You're not alone. It's one of the most frequent symptoms of an imbalanced body. A lack of potassium or magnesium can trigger those muscle spasms without warning. Do you sometimes feel a strange weakness doing things that used to be easy? Climbing a few stairs, walking a few blocks, even opening a jar. If your muscles don't have enough sodium or calcium, their strength decreases. It's not laziness. It's an internal deficiency that slows your energy from the inside. Another common symptom is persistent fatigue, that feeling of being worn out without having done much. You get up, and you're already tired. You drink coffee, you rest, and still your body doesn't wake up. That can be because your cells don't have what they need to produce energy. And many times, what's missing isn't sugar, but essential minerals. And what about mild palpitations? That sensation that the heart beats stronger or faster for no apparent reason. It can be scary. And of course, you should always consult a doctor. But in many cases, a lack of electrolytes can alter heart rhythm. The heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs balance to work well. There are also less physical, but equally important, effects. Anxiety without a clear cause, irritability, sudden mood swings. All of that can be related to a dehydrated brain, with neurons that aren't receiving the right chemical environment. Again, it's not just age, it's what the body is missing. I'll tell you about Elvira, a 72-year-old woman I met at a wellness workshop for older adults. She said she no longer felt like doing anything. Her muscles hurt, she felt slow, without energy. Her family thought it was depression. But after speaking with a nutritionist, they started small changes. She added a pinch of sea salt, lemon juice, and a bit of coconut water to her daily water. Nothing more. In 2 weeks, she noticed a huge difference. The cramps disappeared. She felt more awake, and above all, calmer. She told me, I didn't know my body was so thirsty for something so simple. And that's the truth many don't know. It's not that we're old, it's that we're empty of what the body truly needs. We're not lacking years, we're lacking nutrients, we're lacking balance. The body doesn't give up easily. It just asks for help in its own way, sometimes with a mild pain, sometimes with an emotion, and sometimes with a silent discomfort we accept as part of growing old, when in reality, we could feel much better by adjusting something as simple as what we put in our glass. Simple solutions to hydrate better. Now that you know water alone isn't enough and your body needs electrolytes to work well, here comes the best part, what you can do starting today to improve your hydration. And no, you don't need expensive products, complicated formulas, or anything out of reach. With simple things you probably already have at home, you can transform an ordinary glass of water into a drink that nourishes, hydrates, and energizes. The first option is one of the most powerful and simple: water with a pinch of Himalayan salt and a few drops of lemon. It sounds basic, but it's very effective. Himalayan salt contains traces of more than 80 minerals, including sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Lemon, for its part, is rich in vitamin C and helps alkalize the body. This mix, taken once or twice a day, activates your digestive system, improves water absorption, and gives energy without needing coffee or sugar. Another natural option is coconut water, which is rich in potassium and other natural electrolytes. I don't mean industrial versions with flavorings, but pure coconut water without added sugar. It can be an excellent choice for mornings or after a walk. It refreshes, hydrates, and supplies minerals quickly. You can also brew infusions with plants that contain minerals, such as nettle, dandelion, or horsetail. These herbs, besides being gentle diuretics, help balance body fluids and stimulate the kidneys, without causing dehydration. If you prefer a practical, straightforward solution, there are electrolyte supplements on the market in powders or effervescent tablets. Choose versions without sugar and without artificial sweeteners. These options come in sachets or capsules you can dissolve in your water bottle and take with you. Some brands are formulated specifically for older adults, with appropriate doses and a mild taste. But hydration doesn't depend only on what you drink. It also depends on what you eat. There are foods with a high water content that also provide essential minerals. Among the most recommended are cucumber, melon, watermelon, celery, tomato, and strawberries. Eating a portion of these fruits or vegetables along with your water boosts its effect. It's a delicious, natural way to support hydration from your plate. And so you're not left with theory alone. Here's a simple recipe you can make at home. Mini homemade recipe. Easy mineralizing drink. 1 large glass of filtered or mineral water. Half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt or unrefined sea salt. The juice of half a fresh lemon. Optional. 1 teaspoon of raw honey or a few drops of stevia if you prefer a softer taste. Mix all the ingredients well and drink it in the morning or between meals. It's refreshing, healthy, and can help you regain vitality in a few days. What matters isn't that you follow an exact recipe, but that you start giving water the power it needs to do its job inside you. It's no longer about drinking by habit, but about drinking with intention, when drinking water isn't enough, or can even harm. We've talked a lot about how to improve your hydration, but now it's time to look at something just as important: the most common mistakes people make when drinking water after 60. Because yes, even though it sounds incredible, there are wrong ways to hydrate. And often, without knowing it, we can be harming our health while believing we're taking care of it. The first mistake is drinking large amounts of water all at once. Many older people think that if they haven't had enough during the day, they can make up for it at night by drinking 1 liter in a single go. They do it before bed or in the afternoon. The problem is that the body can't absorb that much water so quickly. Instead of hydrating, that excess goes straight through the kidneys and out. All it achieves is causing nighttime trips to the bathroom, interrupting sleep, and in some cases, provoking sodium imbalances in the blood. Hydrating well isn't about quantity, but about frequency and quality. It's better to take small sips throughout the day than big glasses all at once. That way the body absorbs the liquid better and uses it where it's needed. The second mistake, very common in people with low blood pressure, is drinking water with no sodium or potassium at all. When pressure drops, drinking pure water can dilute the body's minerals even more, making the situation worse. That's why those who suffer from hypertension or dizziness should be especially careful. A pinch of salt in the water can be the difference between feeling weak and regaining energy. Another silent mistake is consuming only diuretic drinks like coffee, black tea, or strong infusions. These beverages, although they contain water, are designed to stimulate fluid elimination. In older adults who naturally retain less water, this can cause unnoticed dehydration. The body eliminates more than it receives, leading to fatigue, cramps, and confusion. Here I want to share the story of Mr. Francis, a 78-year-old man I met in a walking group for older adults. He always said, "I drink water all day long, I don't fall short." But he complained of cramps, fatigue, and even had a fall due to dizziness. It turns out he drank about 2 liters a day, but it was all filtered water without minerals. And on top of that, he had 4 cups of coffee a day. When they explained that coffee dehydrates and that his water needed minerals to work, he started to change. He cut coffee to 1 cup, added a bit of sea salt to his morning water, and ate high-water fruits between meals. In a few weeks, he felt more balanced, with fewer cramps, and with more mental clarity. Because hydrating isn't just filling your stomach with water, it's feeding your cells. It's giving the body what it needs to function, not just what we think it needs. And many times, when someone says, "I drink enough water but still feel bad," the answer lies in those small mistakes. Too much coffee, lack of minerals, servings that are too large, or poor distribution throughout the day. It's not about giving up water, it's about drinking it wisely. What seems to hydrate you, but dehydrates you? One of the most common mistakes we make, and not only in old age, is trusting drinks that seem healthy, but can actually dehydrate you or even harm you. Advertising and colorful labels promise energy, hydration, or nutrition, but behind those messages, there's something we must examine closely: the real content. Let's start with sports drinks, the ones in shiny bottles, full of artificial colors, claiming to contain electrolytes. Sounds good, right? But here's the truth. Most are loaded with sugar. A single bottle can contain the equivalent of more than 5 tablespoons of white sugar. That excess can raise your glucose levels, hinder real fluid absorption, and in older adults, cause unstable energy, inflammation, and even weaken the kidneys over time. And speaking of sugar, we can't forget industrial juices and sodas. Although they may seem more natural, the vast majority contain added sugars, syrups, preservatives, and in many cases no fiber or real minerals. Boxed orange juice is not the same as freshly squeezed at home. A glass may seem healthy, but in reality what it does is spike glucose quickly, cause bursts of energy, and then crashes that leave you more tired than before. Then there's alcohol, which many older adults still consume regularly, thinking that a little glass a day doesn't hurt. And yes, in some cases, it may not be serious. But what almost no one says is that alcohol is highly dehydrating. It affects fluid balance, interferes with mineral absorption, irritates the digestive system, and weakens the liver and kidneys, organs key to keeping the body hydrated and clean. And let's not forget coffee. Yes, a cup in the morning can be pleasant, even stimulating. But when it becomes 3, 4, or more cups a day, coffee goes from ally to silent enemy. Excess caffeine stimulates urination, increases fluid loss, and if not offset with proper hydration and electrolytes, can lead to symptoms like fatigue, palpitations, irritability, and digestive issues. Now, does this mean you can never drink any of these again? Number. But it does mean you can't depend on these beverages for hydration, and much less trust that they're helping you just because they taste good or sport pretty labels. So, what does work? Water with natural electrolytes, as we saw before, a pinch of sea salt, lemon juice, coconut water. Gentle infusions like chamomile, ginger, or mint, without sugar and without caffeine. Water with pieces of fresh fruit, like cucumber, strawberry, or orange slices, that add flavor without harm. Homemade rehydrating drinks with simple, real ingredients and no additives. The key point here is understanding that hydrating is not the same as filling your stomach with sweet liquid. Many drinks fill you up, but they don't nourish you. They satisfy momentarily, but don't feed your cells. And in the long term, that shows in the body: dull skin, unexplained fatigue, trouble concentrating, slow digestion. Your body needs water, but it needs real water. Water that provides what it needs, not what robs it. Ideal hydration routine after 60. One of the keys to staying strong, energetic, and mentally clear after 60 isn't in expensive medications or miracle solutions. It's in something much simpler, yet just as powerful: a well-done daily hydration routine. Because, as we've seen, it's not about drinking liters of water at random. It's about knowing when, how, and how often to drink, so it truly reaches your cells and helps you feel better every day. Let's start with the most important moment of the day: upon waking. During the night, the body loses water without us noticing, through breathing, sweating, even without moving much. That's why the first step when you get up should be to drink a glass of warm water with a pinch of sea salt and a few drops of lemon. This helps wake up the digestive system, hydrate the cells, and replenish minerals lost during sleep. Then, between meals, it's ideal to take small sips of water every hour. You don't need a full glass at once. Half a glass or a few sips is enough. Here you can add a little extra: a few fresh mint leaves, a cucumber slice, or even a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar if you like. It's not only refreshing, it also offers digestive benefits. Another good time to drink water is before going for a walk or doing any physical activity. Half an hour beforehand, drink a glass of water with a natural mineral boost. This helps prepare your muscles and improves performance without feeling heavy or worn out. A very useful tool you can start using today is what we'll call the bottle of the day. Choose a bottle of 1 liter or 1.5 liters. In the morning, fill it with water. Add the ingredients you prefer: lemon, sea salt, cucumber, mint, ginger, and keep it with you all day. That will be your visual guide. Every time you see the bottle, you'll remember to drink a little. You don't need to finish it immediately. What matters is drinking consciously, slowly, and consistently. And to know if you're on the right track, pay attention to your body. If your urine is very dark, you may need more water. If it's clear and without a strong odor, you're doing well. If you feel more awake in the morning, less tired in the afternoon, and sleep better, that's also a sign your hydration is working. Here's an example of a simple routine you can adapt to your day. Morning, upon waking: 1 glass of water with sea salt and lemon. You can add ginger if you tolerate it well. Mid-morning, half a glass of water with a few mint leaves or a gentle infusion. Pair it with a piece of hydrating fruit like melon or cucumber. Before going out or moving, 1 glass of water with a pinch of salt or a natural electrolyte supplement. Afternoon, between meals, sips from your bottle of the day. Add cucumber or orange slices if you want variety. Before dinner, 1 glass of plain water or with lemon to aid digestion. 1 hour before bed, a small cup of a gentle infusion like chamomile. Avoid too much water right before sleeping so you don't interrupt your rest. Remember, you don't need to be perfect, just consistent. These small changes can transform your energy, your mood, and even your memory. Hydrating well is loving yourself well. Throughout this video, we've discovered something that, though it sounds simple, can make a profound difference in how you feel each day. That water alone, after 60, is no longer enough. With the years, the body changes. That isn't a weakness, it's part of life. But when we keep doing things as if nothing had changed, as if today's body were the same as it was 20 or 30 years ago, we start paying the price in the form of fatigue, aches, dizziness, or mental fog. Drinking water without minerals, without balance, without awareness, is like watering a plant with stagnant water. It may seem helpful, but it doesn't reach where it's needed. Instead, when you understand what your body really needs and adjust that water with a touch of minerals, fruits, or natural ingredients, you're doing something much deeper. You're truly taking care of yourself. This video hasn't just been a list of tips. It's been an invitation. An invitation to listen to your body more closely, to look at yourself more tenderly, and to stop settling for what you've always done. Because the usual is no longer enough. And that's okay. What matters is knowing it and doing something about it. Many wait for their body to scream before they begin to listen. They wait to be very tired, to have a health scare, to be told by a doctor. But you don't have to wait. You can start today to give yourself what you need. You don't have to change your life overnight. Just make small adjustments with big effects. And if there's one thing I'd like you to remember from everything we covered today, it's this. Your body has accompanied you for more than 60 years. It has taken you places. It has hugged. It has worked. It has raised a family. It has lived. It's time to return the favor. Hydrating well isn't just a physical action. It's an act of kindness toward yourself. It's a quiet way of saying, I deserve to feel better. I deserve to take care of myself. Now I'd love to hear from you. How many years old are you? And where are you watching this video from? Leave it for me in the comments. I'll love to know, to read you, and to keep creating content that accompanies you in this valuable stage of your life. And if this video made you think, if you learned something new, or if it simply reminded you that you matter, then it was already worth it. See you in the next video. Until then, take care, stay hydrated, and don't stop listening to yourself.